to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. So today I am going to be doing a pick my January TBR with me, but using a TBR jar prompt. That is a mouthful to say. So I keep seeing these around on YouTube, and I was watching Rachel Catherine's video and she did these, and I just thought they were so much fun. So I had a look online for a bunch of prompts that you can use to help you pick your books that you want to read. So by the time you're watching this, I've already read 2 books in January, so I feel like the number that I'm going to pick is around 3 or 4 books. I typically get 4 books read in a month on that's like a good month for me. So I feel like another 3 or 4 could be quite good. It obviously depends how long these books are, but I'm sure we will manage. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up, subscribe down below, and don't forget to turn on the little post notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And with that said, let's just jump straight into the video. So this is my little TBR jar. This is honestly the cutest little jar ever. I got it in my Illumicrate box, my December Illumicrate box. It's based off of The Invisible Life of Adalyn, and I just love it. It's just so cute. So I thought I'd put my little TBR prompts in here. So as I said in the intro, I'm gonna probably do we'll pick 4 and see whether I get these read. Also, I just want to preface this by saying that I am very much a mood reader, so picking a TBR usually isn't very accurate for myself and my reading habits, purely because when I finish a book, I will most likely be in the mood for something completely different, and I feel like if I set a TBR, I feel more pressure on myself. There are some books that have been on my TBR for so long that I desperately want to read, so I feel like this is the best way to do it and pick the books if I can by doing it this way. We're just gonna jump straight in. I'm gonna give the little jar another good old shake just so that there is no cheating here, and I believe all of my TBR books as such are on here, and over on my other little bookshelf that I have. So we're gonna go in, I'm gonna open the jar. I'm just gonna literally just gonna pick one. Okay, this is my first one. This is really exciting. I don't know why, but oh, okay, this is a really good one. A mystery novel. As you guys know, murder mystery is my favourite genre, so I feel like this could be a really, really good one. I am gonna go for this one, I think. Wrong Place, Wrong Time. I've seen this everywhere, on Instagram, on TikTok, and specifically Gillian McAllister as an author I've seen a lot about, and I just feel like I need to read this. This was also a Reese's book club pick, which I try and loosely follow. I am very excited about this. I feel like we are starting this TBR off strong. I felt like that was a pretty easy pick, to be honest with you, because I love a mystery, and I will most likely always pick a mystery over any kind of genre, especially if I don't really know what I want to read. So, okay, we're gonna go in. Second prompt is this one. Bit of a chunky one. A book that takes place on the beach. That is interesting. I feel like I've got a couple of options for this. Okay, I've got 3 options to choose from. I've got The Feast by Margaret Kennedy, My Policeman by Bethan Roberts, and Beach Read by Emily Henry. Now, I really want to read Beach Read in the summer, which is why I'm kind of holding off on reading this, but then this has been on my TBR for a really long time, and I really want to get into Emily Henry's writing. The second one is My Policeman. Once again, I think I tried reading this last year or maybe the year before, and I just didn't really sort of get into it. I don't even think I was like 100 pages in, and I kind of stopped reading it. But then I also really want to watch the film because it has Harry Styles in it. But then this has quite literally been on my TBR for the last 2 years. This has been on my TBR since I started Bookstagram, which is coming up to the 2-year mark. But this is a mystery novel. Oh, this is really difficult. Oh my goodness. Why did I think this was going to be easy? Because this is also kind of like this is set in 1947. And this is set in the 1950s. Maybe we go, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick Beach Read by Emily Henry. Purely because I really want to get into her writing and her work. And I tried reading People With Me on Vacation. Or You and Me on Vacation. I actually DNF'd it, but I really want to try and read it again. But then I've heard that Beach Read is maybe better than You and Me on Vacation, so maybe I give this one a go. Or do I go for... Okay, no, I know what I want. I really want to read this one. I know I've already got a mystery novel, but I really, really want to read this, so we're going to read it. We are going to read it. Or we change. Okay. We're going to change my first TBR prompt, which was a mystery novel, for The Feast by Margaret Kennedy. We're going to ignore this one, and then we're going to choose Beach Read by Emily Henry as my second TBR prompt, which is a book based on the beach. Let's hope we can figure this out. Okay, right. That is 2 books down, 2 more to go. Okay, we're just gonna mix all of this up. Okay, got another one. A book inspired by a historical event. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, okay. I think I know. I think I know. This has been on my TBR for a very long time. I have had this book since I was 18. I got it for my 18th birthday. I'm now 21. Do the math. All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. This has literally, as I said, been on my TBR since I was 18 years old. That was 4 years ago. So we're definitely going to pick this one up because A, it's now a Netflix. Is it a movie or a show? I can't remember, but it is now on Netflix and I really want to watch it. But I'm that person that's like, I have to read the book before I can watch it. So I'm going to read this one because I also love historical fiction. Anything sort of based around historical fiction I love reading about it. So we're going to choose this one. And I feel like we've got a decent TBR coming along here. Decent one. Okay, do you know what? I'm actually going to pick 2 more for the sake of the video. Whether I get read another 5 books this month, I severely doubt, but it's okay. Okay. 4th book. Let's try and get one from the bottom. Okay, this little one. Oh, this is a little one. This is a tiny little one. A book with a pretty cover. Ooh. See, this is purely like personal choice though. Let's try and go for a smaller book that's got a pretty cover. I know the one. We're going to do this one. I feel like this is the perfect one. This is Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. I'm not even gonna try and attempt to pronounce this author's name because I know I will get it wrong, but I feel like this has got such a pretty cover on it with the little books and the cat and the bike. I just think it's so sweet, and it's also a short book, so I feel like we can get through this pretty quickly. So this is my next pick. Okay, last one. Let's get in there. Next one. 200 pages. I'm pretty sure this one is less than 200 pages. It is as well. Oh no! Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and I'm gonna put this one to one side because I've kind of already chosen like a shorter book. Okay, let's do another pick. Let's see if I can actually get one that seems quite good. Okay, this little one. An author you've never read. Ooh. That's pretty much like my entire bookshelf at this rate. Oh god, see, I've got this book literally sitting in front of me that's like, I really want to read this, but I don't want to read it like for the sake of reading it. I want to really enjoy that book. That is probably one of my most anticipated reads of the year, so I think I'm going to wait for that one. And we are going to go for, I've got couple of options. I feel like it depends what genre I want to go for though. What have we got? Okay, I feel like we've got a romance, we've got a mystery, we've got historical fiction, kind of got like a general fiction. We go for a fantasy. We are going to go for Belladonna by Adalyn Grace. You guys would have seen this quite literally in probably all of my videos that I've said that I want to read this. I'm desperate to read this, so this is perfect. It's great because I've never read anything by Adalyn Grace. Okay, so let's do a recap of all of the books that we're going to read this month. As I said, this is very loose because I probably won't get through 5 books. Okay, so a book that takes place on the beach. We have chosen Beach Read by Emily Henry. So the story follows. January is a hopeless romantic who narrates her life like she's led in a blockbuster movie. Gus is a serious literary type who thinks true love is a fairy tale. But January and Gus have more in common than you'd think. They're both broke, they have crippling writer's block, and they need to write bestsellers before summer ends. The result, a bet to swap genres and see who gets published first. The risk, in telling each other's stories, their worlds might be changed entirely. So I'm hoping this is actually based on the beach because it's obviously called Beach Read. So I'm taking the literal sense in that this is actually set on the beach. Then for our book inspired by a historical event, we have All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Marie Laure, blind since the age of 6, the world is full of mazes, the miniature of a Paris neighbourhood made by her father to teach her the way home. The microscopic layers within the invaluable diamond that her father guards in the Museum of Natural History. The walled city by the sea where father and daughter take refuge when the Nazis invade Paris, and a future which draws her even closer to Werner, a German orphan destined to labour in the mines until a broken radio fills his life with possibility and brings him to the notice of the Hitler Youth. In this magnificent, deeply moving novel, the stories of Marie Laure and Werner illuminate the ways against all odds people try to be good to one another. So I'd say this is inspired by a historical event. So as for the mystery novel, I've chosen The Feast by Margaret Kennedy and Cornwall, Midsummer 1947. Pendesac Manor Hotel has just been buried in the rubble of a collapsed cliff. 7 guests have perished, but what brought this strange assembly together for a moonlit feast before this act of God or man? Over the week before the landslide, we meet the hotel guests in all their eccentric glory. The selfish aristocrat, the slothful hotelier, snooping housekeeper, bereaved couple, bohemian authoress, and poverty-stricken children. And as friendships form and romances blossom, sins are revealed and the cliff cracks widen. Both a glorious portrait of seaside holidays in post-war Britain and a wise, witty fable, Margaret Kennedy's The Feast is a banquet indeed. I remember when I started Bookstagram and I went to, this was like one of my first times properly book shopping as like a bookaholic basically, and the lovely seller said to me, I said to her, I was like, I've seen so many books on TikTok and Instagram, but I really want to deviate from that. Can you pick a book for me that is really good but nobody ever speaks about? So she picked this one up for me and she said that it was absolutely brilliant. So I feel like I definitely need to read that because that's been on my TBR for a very long time. A book with a pretty cover, I've gone with Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. As I said, I wanted sort of like a shorter book that I could just fill-in. From the beginning of summer to early spring, I lived at the Morisaki Bookshop. I spent that period of my life in the spare room on the second floor of the store, trying to bury myself in books. The cramped room barely got any light and everything felt damp. It smelled constantly of musty old books, but I will always remember the days I spent there, because that's where my real life began, and I know without a doubt that if not for those days, the rest of my life would have been bland, monotonous and lonely. The Morisaki Bookshop is precious to me. It's a place I know I'll never forget, which I think is really sweet. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this one actually. And then lastly, an author you've never read, Belladonna by Adalyn Grace. Orphaned as a child, Signa Farrow has been raised by a string of guardians, each more interested in her wealth than her well-being, and each has met an untimely end. Her only remaining relatives are the elusive Hawthorns, an eccentric family living at Thorngrove, an estate both glittering and gloomy. When a restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned, Signa realises the Hawthorns could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surly stable boy to hunt down the killer. But Signa's best chance of uncovering the murderer is an alliance with Death himself, and as the mystery unfurls, Signa realises their growing connection may be more irresistible than she dared imagined. This sounds really good. As it says here, it's got secrets, curses, mystery, romance and death. What more could you want out of a book? Seriously. So those are the 5 books that I have chosen. I feel like this is actually a really good way to get through my ever-growing TBR pile, but I'm very excited. I feel like there's a mix of different books. I think this is what I need more of, is just like a general mix of different books, and therefore I will get through a lot more books. So that is my January TBR using TBR jar prompts. I hope you guys really like this video. I know it's something completely different, but I want to be doing kind of a little bit of like, I want to start doing some more like sort of different content as such, and I feel like something like this is quite fun, that you can pick my TBR with me. And also, if you follow along, I will be doing sort of like monthly reading vlogs, or as much as I can anyway, so you can kind of watch these TBR videos and see whether or not I actually end up reading them. Which I also think is really fun. But I will list the books that I have chosen in the description box down below, so you guys can go check them out. Or if you're struggling with your own TBR for this month, then you can always follow the TBR that I'm following this month. Also, creating a TBR jar prompt is really helpful, or getting a jar and writing all of the books that you have on your TBR and then just literally picking them out, and it will tell you the book that you need to read. I just find with a TBR prompt you have a little bit more room to sort of choose what you wish, which I think is really fun. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up, subscribe down below, and don't forget to turn on the little post notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And with that said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!